guys, welcome back to an episode of 12-inch Figure Fanatic. Remember to subscribe. Today we're going to be looking at the newly released Artisan Joker from Hot Toys. And it's a bigger box because it has a pretty nice diorama to go with it of the talk show stage that was famous in the film. I'm very excited to open this figure up. There's been a lot of Jokers floating around, just like with the Dark Knight. There was a lot of those versions of the Joker floating around. Each of them have their own unique pluses and minuses. A lot of people kit bashed a few together to make some ultimate figure in their eyes. We're going to take a look at this one and see how good it matches up. I know there were mixed reactions to the sequel of the first film, and my opinion on it was it was okay. It satisfied the intent, but it was missing something. I couldn't quite put my finger on it even after watching it a second time. So the box itself is nicely decorated. It's got this reflective ha 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 all over the side here. Not too much to it otherwise. And then it comes out on the side here, just like the Pirates of the Caribbean one I just did a review on. So it's got this insert here on top, nice close-up of the head and full body. And just like they're doing with the Artisan editions now, they have the body separate. They have the intricately preserved head sculpt on the left. Little thing here says, please read user guide first and follow all instructions. Yeah, who reads the instructions these days? All right, let's get the head sculpt on him first. What is that? Ah, extra buttons? Yeah. Okay. Oh boy, this is heavy. Let's get this head sculpt out. Okay. Oh. All right. There we go. All right, so right off the bat, the head sculpt does look great. I like the way they did the paint. And I love how the hair is stitched. I mean, that's the call sign of an Artisan edition figure, is that they have the stitched hair, appropriately colored. Its waviness is film accurate. If you look, the sideburns are nicely done. The hairline is appropriate. I mean, could you have a few stray strands, make it look not so perfect on the front scalp area? Sure, but it looks good. And then you've got the suit itself. It looks great. The hand sculpts, I mean, we don't expect any shortcuts on the detailing in the hands. Hot Toys is pretty good at that. They've always done that speckle effect to give it some depth. Good lining on the inside. And yeah, the material choices are nice. Slightly stiff, but it's okay. And then you've got the sculpted shoe. It is just a single plastic sculpt that inserts into the ankle, which has socks on pretty high up, which is good because you're going to have him sitting down typically with the display that he comes with, and so you're going to have some exposure above the ankle, and you don't want any skin to show. Yeah, pretty nice. Let's see what else we got here. So we've got his mask, and it's got the elastic strand to it, So you could put it on his face, and it's got the stitched hair on the sides. And oh, I like how they lined the inside with kind of a suede finish, so it doesn't damage the head sculpt at all, scratch it up any. So that's a good, nice touch there. Then you've got the revolver, and that rotates, doesn't cock back, made of plastic. Not really weathered at all, but good enough detailing on there. And then you've got, looks like a lengthy notebook. I don't remember this from the film. Like a spiral bound notebook, I think. And it's just a single sculpt. It's got some flexibility to it. Got those instructions. You got several options for hand sculpts. Look at that. And they're not just hand sculpts, they go all the way up the arm, which is nice. And good detailing on that in both the sculpting and the paint. You've got the chair with the upper is a solid sculpt. The cushion's not even removable, but I love the way they textured it and sculpted it. It looks like it might as well be some sort of plush material. It's recessed in the seat area to perfectly hold his butt so he sinks into it. I mean, we've seen supposed plastic sculpted plush chairs where it's just flat across, and you could kind of tell if you have a figure seated, especially if the clothes are tight fitting, that he just doesn't, the figure wouldn't sit into it appropriately. So this covers the bases there. That's great. And then you've got a separate base at the bottom here, metallic finish, but it's made of plastic. And it looks like this extends on the bottom here so that you can insert it into the base so there's no movement. Very nicely done. And it looks like the rest here is all the display. Yeah, so let's get this thing set up, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here he is all set up, and first of all, I forgot about the cigarette earlier because it was hiding in the box, but he has the cigarette there, easily losable item, so careful with that. Have him seated in this pose here, and his legs do cross, but just not as much as I would prefer. It looks good though. As far as the base itself, let's start off with the good. One, the lighting is great. You have some option to move the lights up and down, but there's no sideways rotation to it. The applause sign looks great. It's got some slight weathering effect around the edges there to make it look kind of old. That's great. The back panel here, they could have taken a shortcut and made it cardboard, but they made it sort of this wood effect plastic, which is nice. And the material they chose for the curtain is great as well. Good quality material there. All right, now my criticisms. It's a little bit taller. I would have preferred to be down a little bit. And I don't know if you plan on displaying this in a Detolf case from IKEA, but I don't know if we would clear, lower and upper glass shelves well. It has a tall profile to it. Two, the curtains just don't rest well. They're so good on capes with their superheroes at putting the wiring on the bottom so that you can sculpt it a little bit to get it appropriate. They didn't do that on here, and as a result, it just kind of flaps out and doesn't look nice. Even in the photo in their instruction book. Let's turn to that page here. So even in the photo, it drapes out kind of ugly. Two, the top base portion doesn't secure into the bottom base. So you have the option to insert the peg here and display him standing. And you have two different options with that. You know, you can do the hug around version, or you can do the, you know, crotch grab version. I would have preferred it was magnetic. I've said that before lately because figures are starting to come out with magnetic bases where the bottom of the feet are magnetized. They didn't do that here. And then also, I mentioned this before in my videos, so it's a USB powered, and I have this external battery pack here. I've had complaints, I've had my complaints in the past because of this. If you've got a bunch of figures on display that each have external power source demands, it just kind of gets annoying with having to have battery packs everywhere. It really, I think, is an asset when it has internal battery, and that's how they started off with. They would have, you know, AAA or AA battery packs in the bottom, and it worked out just fine. I wish I could understand why they switched. The switch is very tiny behind here. There's this cardboard paneling that secures the wall panel to these clear, tall dowels. So everything fits snugly and securely. It's got a sturdiness to it, but I can't get those complaints out of the way. You know. Other than that, fantastic figure. There is this empty space here. It's just kind of useless to me. Now, if you got, I forget what his name was, Robert De Niro, Murray Franklin's character. If you had a custom of him made, standing right here, boy, that'd be priceless, right? And you do have that option. There's a few figure makers out there who could pull that off for you at a good cost. And it would also hide some of this ugly curtain thing going on. But other than that, it's a great presentation. And scale of 1 to 10, quite a few shortcomings that, like I mentioned with the base. I got to take off a few points with that. The quality of the figure itself, it's great. Now, these extendable arms, with him having, you know, long sleeves on, I just don't see the utility of it. They really didn't need to do it. I think they were trying to do, you know, what the Dark Knight Joker version of the figures in the past have done, because they've had longer arm change-outs. But I don't think it was necessary here, and it's just kind of an annoyance to get under 2 layers of clothing to insert those arms. They do have clasps here to secure the cuff on the shirt underneath, but it's kind of an extra annoyance. So scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this figure a 8.8. I know that's the lowest score I've given to an Artisan figure because they're supposed to be the creme de la creme of Hot Toys, but those shortcomings cannot be ignored. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time.